You know, I had a conversation with someone from Vice, and the general idea was they were like, if you leave, you lose the cool factor. And
no!
But think about it.
Jokes
so
on them. The cool factor went through
Vice,
the floor.
It was a springboard for a lot of people, right? For sure. Like, yeah, definitely lost that. But at the time, it was
cool factor.
Now it is. Now it's cringe factor.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was like, if you stay here and you do more of these videos, because like I did a video with Kim.com, the hacker dude.
Kim K, got it.
Yeah, and it got like, for sure, it got like 5 million views overnight. And so Vice was hot on social media and YouTube, and it was like, if you leave, you're not going to get this kind of recognition.
Yeah.
You'll make more money. And
they're really selling that, eh? That's their whole thing.
And you know what I said was? I was like, dude, those videos that got all those views, that's me getting those views, not you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, because I had already gotten a ton of views on a ton of content, but they were really, you know, going for that. So I ended up leaving this company. And here's the point of the story. I got no problem saying, here's what all these companies did. I'll say it straight up.
Yeah.
We need more people to do that. Like the things you're mentioning about these tech companies, how they sell ads, the fake game they play, the marketing companies that are telling people to get woke, and then it results in trash content nobody wants. But the point I was making before about how it's kind of like an anchor is that once you get woke, you don't go back.
No, you can't, because the culture's too ingrained. You know, it's like, again, once you basically tell everyone, hey, if we do something else, we're racist. Everyone's like, got it. And then you come back, you're like, hey, we're gonna do something else, and they're like, but that's racist.
Yeah, and then nobody will move. But you know what it's like. You ever see that? You ever hear that experiment they did with like the chimps? And they put them in this room.
Had sex with them all?
Yeah. And everyone got disease. No, they put a ladder.
Me and my boys.
I don't know exactly how they did it, but here it's like an urban legend. I'm pretty sure it's a true story. They put like this stool in a room, and they put fruit on top, and they had a bunch of chimps. And anytime a chimp would try and climb the ladder to get the fruit, they'd spray him with the hose. Yeah. So then eventually they all started. If any chimp tried to get the food, the other chimps
beat the other chimp out. Yeah.
Then one by one
it's the crab in a bucket theories, you know.
Well, but so one by one they would switch the chimp out. Then they'd put in a new chimp.
Yes.
And they got rid of the hose.
There's different versions of that experiment. Yeah. I've actually seen a different one, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And eventually no one knows why they're doing it.
Exactly. So here's what happens.
Yeah.
You get some guy at a tech company, at a media company, and they're sitting there scratching their beard, you know, and their man bun, and they're like,
getting the Vice tattoo on their neck.
And while they're sitting there, they're thinking to themselves, like, how can we boost views? And they're like, let's try some like woke feminist stuff.
Yeah.
They do it. They get some marginal boost from like shock content. It's rage bait. This guy gets a promotion and leaves. He gets replaced by a new woke guy. And now you have a whole room full of woke people who have no idea why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they'll never give it up.
It just becomes a genre. You know,
trying to keep.
It always happens in comedy too. It's like the thing that you're making fun of becomes obsolete, but the thing, like for example, you know, if you were talking about, you know, the cop shows that are like, hey Riggs, you know, we're gonna do whatever, right?
We're gonna do whatever. What are they gonna do?
No, I was thinking of, you know what? I'll say this first because it was making me laugh in my head. The idea of you retired from Vice and then Vice being like, "Can you come back, do an article?" And you're like, "You know, I don't do that anymore.
I don't do it anymore, Shane.
One last job. One last job. There's crack smokers in Russia."
I'm sitting here and I'm like, no, and then they like open a briefcase,
yeah.
And it's a bunch of rings. Second ring.
yeah.
It's just a ring. It's and look, I think
I couldn't get through my point because I was making myself laugh thinking of that. But
it's a briefcase with one ring.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, one last job. Get me my plaid shirt with rolled up sleeves.
And then it's like it's writing an article and it's like the crack addicted coal miners of Siberia.
And they're like, why can't someone else do it? They're like, they can't talk to the crack addicted coal miners. It's only you that have the skills to infiltrate.
You think you're telling me a joke? Let me tell you a story. One of the things that I got pitched when I was there was a story about in South American mountains where the men have to climb up and like do mining on like mountaintops or whatever.
Yeah.
The women can't survive up there as long as the men can because of...
Typical.
Absolutely. Well, so this is what I was told, that the women have a harder time surviving because of the thin air.
Yeah.
So the men work up there for really long periods of time, but they get lonely. And because women can't come up, other men have to dress up like women and service the other men. And that was literally a Vice story. And I was asked, like, would you want to go to these mountains and like interview this and like do a video? I'm like, that sounds like Vice.
Girls putting a wig on and jerking off dudes. Tim's like,
no, it's
good,
dudes putting wigs on.
Dudes
And
putting a wig on.
yeah, we are not family friendly
Tim's like,
anymore.
nope.
So.
This sounds like the South Park episode.
No, it wasn't. I was like,
No,
when's the plane
yeah.
leave? I was like,
right,
I'll
right.
parachute in, land me on top of the mountain.
Yeah, you come in,
like,
you
I'm on
land
it.
on the person.
Give me my wig.
Servicing the guy. Oh no, too close for comfort.
Oh,
You
no.
ever seen the South Park episode where the cops taking down the Johns by pretending to be a pedophile,
Oh, yeah.
dressing up? That's you. You have to dress up like the wig.
He gets
you know?
married to the pimp.
Yeah, you're
it's like 10 years later.
You're 6 guys in, but you have a GoPro on your head.
No.
Oh my
Dude,
goodness.
you'd be surprised. Like when I was in Venezuela,
Yeah, you have to work undercover for 7 months.
I almost went to prison.
Really?
I was in Venezuela. I had some high-profile Venezuelan dude accuse me of being a spy. All of a sudden, I'm getting attacked online, like 10,000 tweets in a few minutes, saying like we're coming for you. We're gonna find you. Things like
From
that.
people in Venezuela?
Yeah. While I was in Venezuela.
How did they see you in the first place?
So I had posted something on Instagram.
Okay.
I was like, it's no big deal. I was like, I took a picture of the protest or whatever and uploaded it, and then some high-profile.
And they could tell that you were like a journalist, and
Yeah.
that's what they mean by spy. Like they're like, you're here to.
No,
write
they straight
about
up said I
this?
was a spy. They said I was working for the CIA.
Okay, so they were okay.
So it was actually American leftists started tweeting at the guy saying Tim Pool works for the CIA and he's in your country. And so the
Right.
dude saw it, went on his show, and he started showing pictures of me, and he was like, look, he's here. And they started showing pictures of corpses in Ukraine, claiming like I had killed them or something. Like it's crazy stuff. And so what I was told from Vice was, can you make this the story? And I was like,
Can you send me a helicopter, please?
so the first thing I did as soon as it happened, I was like, airport.
Yeah.
Talked to security, and they were like, it was the middle of the night. You got to wait till the sun cracks because you don't want to get killed. Sun cracked, got in the cab, got to the airport, got on that plane, and like I was sitting outside the gate waiting for boarding, and that's what I was asked by the guys at Vice. They were like, why don't you just, this is the story. And I was like, they're going to throw me in prison, dude.
Yeah.
I called my family.
And they're like sick, right?
They were like,
you
well,
nailed it. Great
you'll be
work.
fine. And I talked to my
Yeah, do
family.
you know how many articles you could write from prison, dude?
Seriously?
No, you won't.
Wow,
You
that's great.
wouldn't write any. But then, so I was talking to my
That's a
family.
Vice article. I murdered a guy and did 15 years in prison.
That probably is.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's a big long piece. Yeah.
No, but I was talking to some family members, and they said, "Well, if you go to prison, you'll probably you'll be in for a couple years, but the State Department will eventually get you out, and then you can write a book about it
prison in there.
in Venezuela."
Everyone you talk to is like, dude, this is gonna be great for your career. You're like, can someone get me out of here?
Well,
Does anyone care? Your lawyer is like, no. You're like, hey, okay, so I need a lawyer right now. He's like, let me ask you a question. Have you started writing? What kind of are you using your laptop?
Now, what kind of percentage can we talk about? It's a 2-year.
Yeah.
No,
Your
but-
lawyer thinks you're calling him to negotiate the book deal.
The point I was bringing up with my family member was not that they
gosh.
were encouraging me to go to prison. Was they're like, that's the mentality of what they're thinking.
Yeah.
They want you to stay because then they could have this international insight. Our journalist was there. He was totally on the level. I'm not saying that's actually what they wanted. Vice necessarily.
Yeah, they
but
wouldn't
that's
hurt.
what my family member thought they were going for. Like some people in my family were just like, it sounds like. And so I was like, I'm going to be on that plane. And I remember sitting on that plane, and I was just like sweating bullets waiting. And then as soon as the wheels lifted off the ground, I was like, yes. When I got back, one of the interns at Vice was Venezuelan. He ran up to me. He's like, how did you get out? And I was like,
Really?
what do you mean? He's like, how did you get out? And I was just like, I went to the airport, got on a plane, left there like, wow. Because they throw people in prison for way less than what they accused you of being an
Right.
American spy.
Yeah.
And then somebody hacked my family's accounts, phones. They hacked my Facebook account. Like, dude, this is the craziest thing. A friend of mine I hadn't talked to in like 6 years messaged me saying, you need to call me immediately. The FBI is asking about you. And I was like, this is probably like something to do with what happened. So
Female body inspectors.
I call him, and he doesn't answer. I call him several times. He doesn't answer. Finally, he calls me back like 4 hours later, and he's like, why are you calling me, dude? And I was like, you told me to call you. He's like, what are you talking about? I haven't talked to you in like 4 or 5 years, bro. And I was like, I got a message from you on Facebook saying call you. And he was like, dude, I didn't message you. I haven't talked to you in years. I sent him a screenshot of it, and he was like, bro, I never messaged you. And so I talked to some of my cybersecurity friends, and they said it was
I want cybersecurity friends.
a messaging injection attack. And what they think happened was that the Venezuelan cybersecurity infrastructure was trying to get me to make a phone call from inside the country so they could find out where I was. But
Wow.
but I was back in the States, so when I called them, it didn't do anything. And then because I'm a funny guy, I used a GPS spoofer, and then I tweeted something like, "These arepas are delicious," and then I made my GPS location Venezuela.
Really?
I was like, there you go, guys.
You outsmarted them.
No, I don't think I actually did anything. I have no idea. But they did hack all of my stuff. They hacked my Facebook. There was like an unknown login stuff, and so that's freaky.
I've had a few of those, dude. I had a guy that sent me, he's like, this is your password. This was like a month ago. And it was like, I've got your password and I've been watching you through your webcam or whatever. And you need to send
Someone
me money.
did that to you?
Yeah, dude. It was like a month ago. But it was in my spam and I was looking for another email. So I saw it in my spam and it was like, it was a month ago. But he had my password right.
Wow.
And I was like,
yeah,
sucks.
but I don't know, man. Sometimes people, I don't know. It's weird. Like, what's he going to get from you?
I don't know. I'm sure if someone stupider would have been like, I don't know, here's $2,000, whatever it is. Like,
yeah.
Some rich dude, they're like, hey, we're gonna send all your to be fair, if someone was in my group chats right now and was like, hey, we have I just have a transcript of all your group chats and I'm gonna release them all, I'd be like, here's my house. Would you like to have sex with my girlfriend? Just you give me the list of demands. Here's my mom, whatever you need, because this cannot get out.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.